Whether you're looking to upgrade the Frontier or like me, you wish we could see the UC and Freestar in their prime in the times of war, this ship is for you. Hello everybody, this is the Dendem Condor, a ship made out of only Deimos parts, so you can build it as your first ship upgrade or to spice things up later in your playthrough, so it's got plenty of room for upgrades if you need a planetary lander. I'll be going over an A-class and B-class variant in this video, which both have slightly different stats, so I'll be showcasing that later in the video. First, we'll start by going over things that are nearly the exact same, the interior, combat, and the overall look of the ship. The ship was made with effectiveness and simplicity as the most important aspect of the ship. That just means keeping everything on one level, only having the necessities for habitats in case you plan on using it for a pretty long while in your playthrough. Doing so makes the ship usable through the entire game while still looking great. It's easy to upgrade the Frontier to this since everything is purchasable from New Atlantis, or if you want to configure an entirely new ship, that's very manageable as well. Performance-wise, this thing is a menace. I was hoping for it to be good at combat, but I was so surprised just how good it actually ended up working out. I figured that my other ships would outperform the Condor in almost every single category, but this thing being nimble and having plenty of hardpoints make it pack one heck of a punch. The B-class variant unsurprisingly performed a little better when dealing with the multi-target scenario, but the A-class version was able to use its higher top speed and maneuverability to finesse around tons of targets, dodging quite a few more shots, even though the shields did still hold up. After testing this thing out, I think I prefer its combat prowess more than my other builds, since it's so agile yet can shoot well, even though I created it off a concept going for a UC troop transport type of ship, but will probably end up using this thing for most of my future combat. Combat aside, the variants look pretty similar, the only difference being that the hardpoints are different and an extra engine is on the back of the A-class. This thing is by a long shot my easiest to follow build too, so in a new game plus or a fresh character I'll definitely be using this ship because it does everything that I need to and it's really easy for me to follow. The Condor's stats are great, with the price being very easy to attain at around 160,000 credits for the B-class and only 135,000 for the A-class. Those prices aren't including the ship parts sold during building or modifying, so the prices will be lower when you're building the ship for yourself. Before we get to the build-along portion of the video, I'll display the parts for both variants on screen, so if you'd like to screenshot them to reference them, you can. That being said, I'll be putting all the ship stats and a list of the parts down in the description for both versions to save you some time, so you don't have to search for this portion of the video over and over. Lastly, this ship uses 0 exploits and 0 workarounds. I know I've made a few ships that do use workarounds and such, so I've been trying to get away from that, as well as it's using only Deimos parts, so this ship is buildable from any point of the game, whether you're starting off fresh or you're a seasoned veteran. Starting with the A-class variants build along, it's broken up into 3 layers, a bottom layer, middle layer, and technically a top layer. The top layer's parts don't really snap together like the parts in the other layers do, but it still makes it way easier to visualize. Once again, I was really going for that troop transport type of look. I was almost going for one of those helicopters in the James Cameron Avatar movies type of vibe, but it just didn't end up working out that way, especially because you can't build small fighter type ships in this game. You can only build these like middle vessel class type of things. The B-class's build along is really similar to the A one. It's broken up into the same 3 layers, a bottom layer, middle layer, and basically the top layer. I'm curious to see if you like this format. I know it's a bit different than some of my other videos, so if you want to give me some feedback, whether you like it set up in this way, having the build along at the end rather than the beginning, let me know. If there's anything you'd like me to try and put into the videos or anything you want me to take out, also comment that down below. I'd love to read it. Then once you're all finished up with either versions, you kind of just grab each of the layers and slap it on, and then you have yourself the ship. The color is a pretty dark, not very saturated blue, which gives it this UC, almost militaristic type of color. Obviously it's themed after the Deimos stuff, and more specifically the UC and Dendem type of things that I've been building, so I tried to keep that theme, and it worked out pretty well, especially with the blue, some black and white accents here and there. That is the Dendem Condor. I hope you all enjoyed that video, and if you did, I'd love to hear some feedback about this format or maybe some suggestions to make my content even better. If you'd like to see my take on some other ships, let me know down in the comments. I might start an entirely new playlist of videos building your suggestions or just funny designs that I've thought about that aren't so much detailed tutorials as much as a montage of creations, but let me know what you think about that. If you like this, you'll probably like some of my other content too, so click that subscribe button and maybe watch some of my other videos in this series, or check out some of my other videos. I don't know, you might like those as well. I guess you'll just have to see. That's going to be all from me, so take care, and I'll hopefully see you next time. See ya.